Welcome everyone to the most wheelbite-friendly podcast on the internet, the SkatePunk Podcast. Today with a few special guests. It's the band NoPoint.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
This is Jason. I play bass.
This is Jesse. I do lead vocals and lead guitar.
Matt, I hit things with sticks.
Jay. I bang on strings hopelessly.
And bitches.
That's perfect. Best introduction so far. How long have you been making music as a band?
In December, it'll be 2 years.
Holy shit. Are you kidding me?
Oh, you said that last year whenever we almost said a year.
Oh my God.
How did you get started? Like, was it on social media or did you guys know each other before or?
So Jason and I met through social media. Jason, the bass player, and I, Matt, the drummer, met through social media with some other friends who wanted to put a band together, but that ended up falling through. Jesse and I had played in a band for about a year or more. I don't know. We were in some pop punk band, and that fell through, but we ended up getting to continue to play music together here. And Jay's the newest addition.
I'm the fucking new
Just
guy.
earlier this year, or was that last year?
Last year.
Actually, it's
Jesus.
been 1 year now
Yeah.
for me.
It's been about a year.
I was in a previous band, and Jesse had hit me up in like August.
Yeah,
that
it's about
year?
August.
About just out of the blue. Like, we kind of knew each other from going to shows and playing shows together in different bands. And he's like, out of the blue, he's like, hey, do you want to start a skate band? I was like, absolutely. It's, I've been wanting to play this style basically since I was 15 and just, it never really worked out. It was always like punk adjacent stuff, but never just strictly like that 90s Epiphat sound that is what got me hooked into punk rock when I was a kid. And he asked me if I wanted to. I was like, hell yeah. And then life kind of happened.
Yeah.
Shit got in the way. And
I was waiting for a job to pull through, and I had a second job, and
yeah, we
so
were both
we just put it on pause for a little bit.
Yeah, then like, I don't know what, November? December?
Well, it was beginning of December, and then the official date is December 14th. That was the first practice.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you with our anniversary.
Yeah,
And then-
we're all ready for that.
And then in between that time is whenever Matt and I played together with some few people that it didn't really pan out. And then Jesse hit me up. He's like, hey, you still want to do this? I'm like, yes. And I know a guy that can play drums.
And I knew that same guy. I just didn't know
And
that
it's
was
him.
the guy.
Yeah. So I kind of poached Matt from that other project, which I was going to bail on anyway. I'm like, hey, you want to be in a skate band with me instead? He's like, fuck yeah.
And I would much rather do that than whatever the fuck we were doing
Right.
with those guys.
Yeah, we did.
It was fun, but it
the other
wasn't
thing had no
this.
direction whatsoever. We practiced like 6 times and didn't have any idea what we were going to do. So, yeah, that's kind of how we got our start. Was it initially a 3-piece?
3-piece. We had another guy that came in about a month in. Then he left about 3 months later.
Yeah. And then we ran solo for about 9 months.
Yeah,
as a trio.
We played that 10-foot pole show, and we played like 3 other ones after that.
Yeah.
And they were writing, and Jay came along.
Yeah.
Here I am.
That's Jay,
That's Jay.
Hi.
who is like my longtime best friend from when we were kids.
Yeah.
Just for reference, Jay and I are about 10-ish years older than these two guys, the other two guys. So like Jay and I went to high school together, and we were both, our first band was in high school together.
Right.
And then like we just, for whatever reasons, I was like, hey, you're playing guitar again. You should totally be in this band with us. And actually he sent me a text. He's like, hey, so I'm just saying, if you guys ever decide you want a second guitarist again,
Right.
I'd be more than down. I'm like, oh, fuck, okay. So I brought it up to these guys. I was like, hey, my buddy wants to play. I sent him all the music and tabbed out the songs for him. And like the first practice, he came in and knocked out, like, already knew all the songs, came in, knocked it out. We're like, well, fuck, okay, cool. So we're a 4-piece again to round out the sound, make it bigger, fuller. And here we are a year later.
Oh, yeah.
Kicking ass at practice because there's no shows.
Yeah. Unless you're playing online.
Right.
Right.
Do you have any advice on getting started on like being in a band, or like if someone knows how to play an instrument and is like, yeah, I want to be in a band, but has no connection whatsoever, how would you go at it, or what advice would you give?
Talk to them first.
Communication. If the first 1 or 2 practices you are not feeling it, communicate that Don't drag it out. Because I've been in bands that have been dragged out. If you're not connecting with someone musically, it's really not going to work, and there's no sense in forcing it. Like me and Jay fucking hate each other, but we put
fuck off.
Put that aside and make beautiful music.
Right.
Actually,
if you can't get along with somebody, you're not going to make music. So you got to be able to talk.
I actually went through that because whenever I went through a bunch of life changes, I had no connections, nothing. And I started going to shows, and I was actually going to go see the first band I was in, and the Queers were there and some other St. Louis bands. And I just posted about like going and excited. And one of the lead singer of the old band that Matt and I were in, he messaged me. He's like, "Hey, do you play guitar?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "We're looking for another guitarist." I was like, "All right." Well, they like, "Hey, come to practice and see what happens." And that's how I got back into music, was just from posting online and a local like
make yourself available.
Yeah, the local.
Yes.
And like probably the biggest
available.
way to meet people is by going to shows and seeing bands and
befriending people.
Yeah, going up, talking to the bands or talking to other people at the show. Like
Eleanor might make an appearance.
Maybe she'll take your drumsticks. Well, yeah, that's there she is.
There she is.
Eleanor, the practice space mascot dog. Yeah, the easiest way is just to get out and talk to people, or make a post on the internet, or don't do Craigslist.
No, don't do Craigslist.
Don't respond to those things. They're terrible.
My dad was in a ton of Craigslist bands. Never join a Craigslist band.
No. At one point, I was in between bands, and I responded to an ad for a bass player, and I meet up with the dude, and he had on like a flame bowling shirt, like button-down shirt with like the silver flames going up each side of the buttons.
So you're saying he was rad as fuck?
Yeah. No, he was lame as fuck. And he had on that kind of a shirt, a fedora, and he had that weird little goatee that's just the soul patch that just keeps fucking going.
Like mine, fuckhead?
No, it just where it just went down to his chin to where it was wanting to be a goatee, but
like the guy from the guy from Sugar Ray.
Yeah, but not as long. It's just like a little patch thing. And then I had like an awkward 45-minute conversation with him, and he bought me some alcohol, and it got weird because I thought he was trying to sleep with me or something, so I just left.
He definitely was.
I'm like, yeah, dude,
he definitely was. And Jason definitely slept with him.
I did. Twice.
He doesn't kiss and tell though.
In my car. No, but don't do the Craigslist thing. It's weird.
Can you take us through the process of, getting together, practicing, and actually having something published that you recorded? Like the process of practicing and the actual final thing that you put out there?
Yeah.
Pretty extreme.
So when it started, it was just, we would just meet up here in this very room. And Jesse actually is the driver of all of our creative endeavors thus far. He has a riff and he'd play for us, and then we'd put some together behind him. But now he'll record something himself and send it to us, and then we have our own input and feedback, and we just bounce off each other and build a song together.
Yeah, and then sometimes I'll fish through lyrics and have them where they kind of work, and we'll alter them until they work. Or we'll just write brand new lyrics after the song's wrote. So.
Yeah.
Or I'll write lyrics to the song. It sounds awful, and then I'll rewrite them before we record it, like 2 days. So.
Right.
Or the day of.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that's fun
when we
too.
did the GC Records thing.
Yeah.
That was fun.
But hey,
it's like they said, one of us will come up with a riff, we'll come in, polish it, put it together, practice the hell out of it till we know it forward and back. And we've only gone in one time to record just one song. The other times it's been, I guess, the one other time we recorded.
No, we recorded 2 songs that were.
Yeah, we recorded
Joel,
2 songs that were for a single, and then the other time we recorded was the EP, and we just, we had all the songs written for it. We had more songs than that, but we chose those to put on the EP. And, we went in the studio and just went, at first we laid down all the drums, and then, just did all the guitar tracks, all the bass tracks, laid down all the vocals, and then would drop in anything else that we wanted to add to it after all the basic stuff was done.
And I just want to say our sound engineer, Gabe, is a fucking wizard. So
Yeah,
we really don't have to do anything. We just go in there and pretend to play music, and then he makes it sound.
Yeah,
The almighty Gabe.
I'm still pretty sure that he just goes back in and re-records everything that I do.
He does everything. All the drum parts are him. All the bass parts,
everything's him. He can even like throw his voice to sound like Jesse's, then redoes vocals. But I don't know what he does with but he's also, in his 40s and got into punk rock with this sound.
Right.
So he
knows how to record punk rock.
Yeah, in his basement in 1997.
Yeah, like he's been doing it since 1997 on a 4-track.
Hey, while you're there, Jesse,
and he just knows the genre so well and knows what he needs to do as an engineer and somewhat as a producer, because you'll lay down your track and think it's great and get done, and he'll be like, oh yeah, that was good except for these 7 parts where you fucked up, you can do it better. And you're like, oh shit, okay, yeah, you're right. And then there's just something about him that he brings out the best in you whenever you're recording as a musician.
So back to the question, our songwriting happens in multiple stages. Like we're sometimes right at the tail end of it.
I can never imagine of how it is to record something and how it is to put it all together, the whole process of it.
Yeah, it's
sure, sometimes you see videos of bands talking about it, but you never get that feeling of putting all the pieces together.
Everyone's different too. Every band
everybody has a different process.
And every
way they do it.
Every technician's different. You're never going to meet the same sound engineer twice.
And for me, the best part is whenever you get to hear just the preliminary rough mix of the song, and to be able to actually hear it and not just hear a bunch of noise in the practice space, to where it's recorded so you can actually hear it as somebody that will be listening to it. I think for me, that's my favorite part of the entire process. Be like, oh wow, okay, that's what that sounds like. That's pretty cool. That's pretty close to what I had in my brain whenever
playing it here, playing live, and hearing it a rough mix are all different.
Yeah.
Do all of you have the same musical background? But we already talked about this. But
so I just dug up a CD in my garage actually 2 weeks ago from this band that I was crazy about when I was 15, and it had the same fast SkatePunk sound, and I was like, damn, dude, I'm about to turn 30 in a couple months, and I was like, I've been listening to this music half my life, and I had totally not even thought twice about it. But we all have the same Bouncing Souls, Pennywise, NoFX, except for Jason hates Bad Religion, but
we're musical backgrounds.
Musical backgrounds.
So Guttermouth. No, sorry, I know.
Jay really likes Guttermouth.
I fucking love
He's
Guttermouth.
been in the newspaper about it.
Yeah.
And then Jay and I in high school and college, we were in a jazz band. I played trombone and he played tenor sax. So we have the actual music background as far as theory and.
Fuck you! I went to college for theory.
Dude, what did you say? You jag off.
You never told us
Shit,
that.
I've said that numerous times.
Oh. I thought you
Only
were
a couple.
shit up.
Only a couple of years. Yeah, I was lying. I was just yanking you.
I have no music theory background. I was in band for 2 years, and I kind of learned how to read music. For guitar, I got lessons for a month, and then after that, I didn't go back. We had a tornado, I think it was 2002, and I didn't go back because I think something happened to it or just didn't have time. But I've never been back to lessons since, and most of it's self-taught or picked up from friends or other artists I've listened to.
So I've musical training. I've played drums my entire life. My dad was a drummer of my whole life, and then I picked up guitar and trained myself and all that. But I've never known a Matt that didn't know how to play any instrument. There's no memory that I have where I didn't know how to do anything musically. But then, like I said, once I got to college, I studied theory for a while and decided that wasn't going to go anywhere because I didn't want to be a fucking middle school music teacher for $30K.
Yeah, that's kind of why I dropped out of college.
Every time when I try out something new, I feel like there are some unwritten rules, and it doesn't matter what I try out. It always seems to be that way. Are there also in like some unwritten rules in having a band and making music and playing shows?
The punk rock police? Are you asking us about the punk rock police? There are a million unwritten rules in punk rock.
Yeah, and you'll never get one right.
I mean, there are, and the shitty thing is nobody really explains it or anything. You just kind of got to pick up on it.
Sometimes you'll have friends or bandmates or acquaintances that'll kind of bump you whenever you're out of line, but
right.
There's no like spoken like this is what you have to do. It's kind of your choice to figure out if you should be doing that.
Right. And for me, one of the biggest things is as far as being a local band is if you get booked on a show where there's a touring band and it's a DIY spot, you expect not to get paid. Like, and I'm fine with that because... Man,
you talk about this. This is so far in the past that I don't even fucking remember playing a show. Jesus Christ. But you stick around and support the
band. And if you're in one of the opening bands, it's local. Like, if it is a door split and the club owner comes to you with the money, you're like, no, fuck that. Give it to the band that's on the road that's trying to pay gas and have a place to sleep and get a fucking hamburger tomorrow before they get to the next town. And that to me, that's the biggest unspoken rule. And there's some there's just some assholes that are out there that will draw fucking 6 people to a show and expect to get paid $50 to $100. Like, no, dude, fuck you. Play their set, load their shit up, and fucking leave, and ask for their money as they're walking out the door. It's like,
all
no,
their friends will leave early, so there's no one to watch you.
Another unwritten rule is, Jesus, for the love of God, get your drums off stage and then tear them down and put them away. You don't need to do that on stage in front of everyone. Get out of the way.
What if that's part of their act?
15-minute changeover,
then kill half your set and spend 15 minutes tearing down your drums. If that's part of your set, I don't want to watch you do that.
And I'm a firm believer in, I don't care what band it is. If you're doing support for a touring act, 30 minutes, man. 30 minutes and you're done. Get the fuck off.
25 at best.
Yeah. Like, at the most 30 minutes. Like, I prefer, if we can, do a 20-minute set. Play, get the fuck off, get the night going faster.
Talk, tell dick jokes.
Right. And if you're a good band and you only play 20 minutes, the people that dug it are like, wow, that was really good. Short set. I'll have to come back and see them again. So it's almost like a leave them wanting more kind of mindset. And for the people that don't like it, they're like, cool, I only had to sit through 20 minutes of that. Because there's been a bunch of shows I've gone to where, for whatever reason, the opening band played 45, 50-minute set. I'm just like, well, how were you not turned off yet?
Or whenever you go out of town, the band before you is a metal jam band with a computer as a drummer. They play for an hour. And then the guy that is
let's not call anybody out.
I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying.
No names were said.
And then he leaves to argue with the guy putting on the show. And then you're left to figure out the sound.
Right. And he's also the sound guy that brought a microphone.
I tell you what, guys, I had a blast. That was such a fun
show. Yeah. I got fucking wasted. It was fun, but that was annoying.
Draft Bush beer.
Oh, yeah. God. God bless Bush beer.
What are your best memories from being playing on stage or just doing music in general? Some of your best memories that you can think of.
I gotta say, I fucking should I go public and say how much I hate the state of Iowa? No, I fucking hate Iowa so much. But hey, hold on, let me finish, Jay. That was seriously the funnest. That was the funnest we'd had as a band, as a 4-piece. We had such a blast going up to Des Moines and just partying with some awesome dudes and some great bands that we played with up there.
I gave a stranger a mohawk for $5.
That happened. Yeah.
Yeah. We posted on the event page on Facebook. Does anybody have hair clippers? Bring them.
You guys started doing that And the owner goes to me, he's like, what the fuck is going on? He was so pissed.
So he brings over.
He's like, I hope they're cleaning that shit up.
I need a haircut.
Yeah, I gave Jay a mohawk, and then this other dude was like, "Hey man, I'll give you $5 to do it." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it."
That was the time.
It was in the dark. I couldn't see shit.
It's all right. Nobody cared.
No,
I mean the mohawk was crooked as fuck.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But yeah, that's probably that's up there with it as far as one of the best memories.
And then 3 hours of acoustic playing at the band's house that let us crash there, quote unquote.
Yeah. And then Jay's like,
I blacked out before that, so I was barely coherent.
Well, I was still up. For 38 hours to be exact. So
thanks, Dad.
yeah, no shit. So at 4 a.m, Jay's like, "Hey, do you just want to go home?" We're like, "All right." So we get in this truck and drive 9 hours back to St. Louis. I'd say that and opening for 10-foot pole was pretty fucking rad.
I was gonna say that too.
Fun.
Those guys were awesome as shit.
Yeah,
they were so
super
nice,
cool guys.
and it was a great show.
Was that whenever the dude wore our shirt on stage?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
Stand
Put
with
a-
women.
yeah, like right before that, the state of Missouri tried to defund Planned Parenthood.
No, that was right after Missouri outlawed abortions.
Oh yeah, they tried to outlaw abortions, and
No,
then
they did. They didn't try.
they got turned over.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit. There was one that was. Anyways, while we're at it, we made a shirt, a NoPoint shirt, and it said "We stand with women," and everything that we made off of that went to a organization to help people fund abortions or women's rights.
Yeah.
So,
St. Louis. Shit. I wish I could give him a shout out, but I don't remember what the organization
I don't either.
was.
But yeah, one of the guitarists from 10-foot pole saw it and asked us about it, and he's like, "Dude, that's fucking awesome." He's like, "I'm gonna buy one." We're like, "No, dude, take it." He's like, "No, I'm gonna buy one." So he bought a shirt. The dude from 10-foot pole bought our shirt, wore it on stage, and said he's gonna wear it on stage the rest of the tour.
He said the whole rest of the tour.
Yeah,
sick.
yeah. So that was pretty fucking cool.
It's nice. Do you have any fear? Like, is there something that you're just scared of? That probably has never happened and probably never will, but you're just scared of it every time before you go on stage?
I fear nothing.
No.
leaving, and then our vehicle won't start to get us home.
That'd be a
That's
pain in the ass.
probably about it.
But we have our lead singer is a former mechanic, so we could fucking figure it out.
The mechanic is scared of that, but none of us are.
You're
so.
leaving at 11 o'clock to 1 in the morning. Who's open? So if we break I guess we're sleeping in it. But
Walmart's.
That's true.
Walmart's is
well,
open.
not right now.
There's
Not
a
with
Walmart.
COVID.
Oh, right.
But hopefully that'll.
I don't know. For me is getting everything set up and turning everything on, and then no noise coming out.
Oh yeah, I had that whenever we went to Iowa. My
Yeah.
head was cold. It took forever to warm up.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is if I don't space out the time between my last coffee and the first time I start hitting things with sticks, my wrists start tensing up and I get a little shaky and stuff, but that's manageable.
And he poops his pants.
And I also have to take pregame shit.
But yeah, that's my biggest thing with getting on stage is like getting everything ready and we're getting ready to go. I'm like, and I hit the string and there's nothing, which does happen from time to time. And then I freak out and look and like, I just had the volume turned down or something stupid. And I was
You
like,
get
oh,
that sinkhole.
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm kind of an idiot sometimes.
Sometimes.
Hey. Also depends on how much I've had to drink.
He may be one stupid, but he ain't too stupid.
Buddy, I'm pretty stupid.
Were you always like that you had like very little fear of things going wrong, or
Oh, God, no.
that had to develop?
I don't remember my first show. I remember it, but I don't remember specifics. Napoleon Solo?
Boris.
The Oris. No, but I mean as far as like how I felt.
Oh.
I'm sure I was scared shitless. I was 17 years old, and there were people staring at me.
Oh, I remember my first show. I was the creepy crawl in that green room, and I was try not to throw up.
Yeah.
I was 17.
Probably the most nervous I've been was when one of my old bands, Grave Neighbors, we opened up for Swinging Utters. And I got up there and like looked out and like the room was packed. I was like, holy fucking shit. This is the most people that have ever seen me on stage playing this type of music. And it was, but for me, what's great is, and I still get nerves every time a little bit, but like 15 seconds into the first song, there's like something just comes over me like a veil to where I just kind of black out and start having fun and I don't have to think about what I'm doing.
It's
Everything's
like you're
there.
in the band practice area.
Right. Where it's I basically black out on stage and do everything I'm supposed to do. And then before I know it, like, I guess, quote unquote, come to, and I'm packing up my shit. I'm like, well, damn, I don't remember fucking anything from that. Like,
I remember.
I know, it's weird.
The band that I was with Matt, I first did vocals. I didn't do vocals in any other band. I did backup vocals in that band, and I was nervous. I never did vocals in anything else. I'm not trained. The second band I was in, they go by the Coolies. I did vocals, but I wasn't lead vocals per se in that band. I just did some of the songs from a previous band member. But this band is different because I played lead and I do vocals, so I got to remember a lot, remember cues. But it was nerve-wracking the first 4 or 5 shows. I'd forget vocals or solos would be kind of off, but I've improved a lot over the years. So it's just time and effort and getting used to it and remembering things, and also beer helps.
Beer.
Speaking of,
Yeah, too.
I missed the question. I think I was banned, but let's go on. Let's move forward.
It's fine.
So I have a question for you. Do you have Busch beer where you're at? It's made by Anheuser. It is the most delicious beer on the planet.
I've been drinking this since I was 14.
Nope. Nope.
Isn't Anheuser-Busch owned by a European company?
Yeah, InBev.
Okay.
Belgium.
Yeah.
Oh, neighbors.
It's a local beer.
I'm from Germany,
Oh,
so
so you drink good beer.
I'm
Oh, you have real
yeah,
beer.
exactly.
Yeah, if you saw this in a glass, you would laugh at us. You're
I was
like,
gonna say this is water. Compared
Oh,
to
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So next question would be about skateboarding because of your song "Push." It's bringing over that like SkatePunk vibe and really sounds like something that could be like in one of the older Tony Hawk's Pro Skater titles. So about your skateboarding, how many of you skate?
So there's 2 of us that have been skating since. When did you start?
Oh man, it's 12.
I was about the same
15.
age. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 came out. I had a skateboard right before that I got for Christmas. And stuck with that for a while. I stuck with that all the way up until I was
So
16 and started driving and dating, and then I didn't.
no,
drop it
when you
completely.
start driving, that's when you start skating.
Well, I kept skating with friends,
So
but
I've been skating since I was like 12 or I don't really remember. But then it was like once I learned to drive, it was all of our friends learned to drive, and it was whoever we all knew how to drive, so we knew how to get to the skate spots. So we were all skating every single day. As soon as school let out, it was like where are we going to go break our backs at?
I luckily had a van at the time, so I'd pack all my friends in it. We throw our boards in the middle because I had the middle seats out. We go skate. But after everyone started getting jobs and stuff, we didn't
started getting
much.
old.
Yeah,
Old
I kept
sucks.
skating.
I'm
I kept
too
skating throughout the
old.
years, and now I skate with my kids. So
Your son just dropped in?
he did just learn how to drop in last weekend. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
That's progression.
I tried to skate. I can roll. That's about it. I tried to ollie like
And hit
3
rocks.
times and busted my shin every time. I was like, you know what? Fuck that.
Everything just hurts.
I'm
so
just gonna
much
roll.
more.
And then I got a bike. So I just rode BMX. And I couldn't do shit on that either. I could like do like peg grinds.
So the other day I walked out in front of my house and on Flatland I did 3 kickflips right in a row. And then I fell on the 4th one and I just laid there because I was like, oh, it's over. I'm gonna die. and then Maggie, my girlfriend, walked out the door and I was just laying in the middle of the street. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? Because we're on our way to the grocery store and I decided I was just gonna do some kickflips.
Now, what really sucks about getting older, having a job and skateboarding and having a house is we don't have universal health care. So you get hurt, it's going to cost some money, possibly your job. So you got to watch and think about what you do nowadays. But
not to mention, I'm 41. If I break a hip, that's it for me, man. I'm done.
I guess I'll be playing in a wheelchair.
Right.
As for the song, I guess we're about, 4 months in. And we're a skate punk band. We had some songs for the album, and they're like, well, let's write a skateboard song. So we had a basic riff, and then I wrote lyrics. I think I wrote them here.
Yeah.
Like within the time that we had practice.
Yeah.
And then we played the song through. I went home, rethought everything, came back in the next week, and then we had a song that was completely done.
Yeah.
So it was simple, but it kind of puts a feeling out there that, we are a skate punk band, how we feel about it.
So. The riff was fun to play, though. It was fun to write with and play with.
Especially for being a newer band.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's something else that I find interesting. Just going back to, like, you asking about the process of writing and what it's like to go in and record and hear your songs and everything is what I find really interesting, especially with this band, is just the evolution of songs and the evolution of your
everything gets faster.
Well, yeah, everything is, but it also gets better. I'm not taking anything away from the EP.
Yeah, we've got.
But this is with every band I've been in, and probably every band that's there. Like when you first start a band, you just throw shit at the wall.
First chorus. End.
Yeah, second verse, same as the first, and you go and record it just to get something out, just to play some shows. And then after that, you can take your time to like
build up
to actually put more thought into your writing process and where you want to go as a band and like style wise and putting in all the like the neat frilly stuff, like the little stops and like the
weird chords.
The weird chords they started doing, like the wherever you strum above the nut on your headstock, and
that was Gabe.
Yeah, and just other neat stuff like that.
Gabe edition.
But yeah, to me, that's one of the most interesting things is like watching my own bands evolve, and then other bands that are local, like they're like a new band, they pop up like, oh, cool, they just played a 10-minute set because they only have 6 songs or whatever, and then
hearing them like,
and then the next time you see them, they rip.
Yeah, and then it's just like, okay, it's like almost every band is like, okay, we got that first batch of songs out of the way that we've been playing for 6 fucking months solid. Let's write something new, and 9 times out of 10, it's fucking amazing.
Our first
just the difference between like the first batch of songs and the next batch, and
wasn't our first show within like 2.5 months of starting? Then we have enough songs.
Right.
Yeah,
I think you're right,
because it was like February.
Yeah,
first show.
Jesus Christ!
And it was like a 15-minute set, and we had like 2 covers, but
yeah,
we had.
Oh, also we cover.
Yeah.
Matt, the drummer, has roughly 27 Bad Religion tattoos.
I mean, give or take.
So the joke is,
and I'm gonna get a Suffer tattoo. I just haven't figured it out yet. I want the Suffer kid. You know,
get him on your stomach. That way he can play drums with you.
Suff life.
Suff life, yeah. So, but whenever we're playing live at shows and Matt gets hot and takes his shirt off and exposes all of his
2. I have 2, exactly 2 Bad Religion tattoos. 2 fucking Bad Religion.
And he takes his shirt off, and we all get to see his 37 Bad Religion tattoos. We immediately break into we're all gonna die. Like regardless of where we are on the set, because we did a live stream about a month ago, and I'm like,
no matter how bad it is, we
Yeah.
still play it.
Yeah, we still played it. We hadn't played it in like 6 months. We're like, oh, this is terrible.
It's been.
But yeah, we always.
Oh no, Matt
We always
shirtless.
do
Let's
that.
play that
We
fucking
looked
same
up-
goddamn song.
And there he was, shirtless. Fuck, we gotta play Bad Religion.
Yeah, so
I like Bad Religion. All right,
That's our-
sue me,
that's-
sue me, Jason.
that's our rib on Matt, and the fact that I like to tell him that every Bad Religion song sounds the same.
I mean, you're not wrong. But
Like, he'll be listening to Bad Religion at work or something and send a screenshot in our group chat of a Bad Religion from his Spotify of a Bad Religion song. I'm like, oh hey, I know that song. It sounds like that other one. By the other one, I mean fucking all of them.
I just thought it was the same screenshot.
What I was going to say is I really enjoy going and recording a song, and then we hear the rough mix of it and pointing out like what bands were influencing us the time that we wrote that song, because you can kind of pick out what we were listening to at the time.
it's always pairs.
It's always
Let's be honest. It's always fucking
Dude.
pairs.
Oh, it's been getting pretty mathy around here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Getting
Lately, we've been on like a
Fuck.
strung out propaganda-ish kick. Like lots of like metally leads and
It's been
Jesse
propaganda
playing-
as fuck.
Oh,
Dude, that was awesome.
you got it.
I wish I could have been on video. And Jesse playing these weird propaganda chords where he grows 3 more fingers and yeah, but I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't
Sorry.
either. We better
Yeah.
let him ask the next question.
Yeah, that's fine.
When you're writing a song, it's like, how do you go at it for the lyrics? Is it something that just comes up, or is it something that you feel like you want to make a song about it? Like, what comes first, or is it sometimes it just happens, and other times you really have to force it to get what you want to say?
Well, for writing, I guess the EP is usually about things that would come up in a day-to-day that I felt like talking about. Or like we had one song that was about, I mean, America's big on it, consumerism. And it's about not taking in as much as you want, taking in what you need, or trying to recycle. So we kind of had a theme there for a little bit.
Reduce, reuse.
Yeah. Well, later on, I mean, what we've been writing now is more personal, I guess. The last song that we wrote for the comp, which the comp came up, it was punk rock against fascism. Is that what it was?
I think so, yeah.
So we were like, well,
GC Records.
Yeah. GC
Got to give
Records.
them a shout out.
So it's been kind of shitty here with our orange
Fascist
machine and
dictator.
what,
Go on.
dictator. So
Orange one.
A dick potato.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck yeah, fuck him.
so
Can you say fuck Donald Trump on the air?
Yeah,
I don't
fuck
know.
Donald
Oh,
Trump.
okay, fuck Donald
you
Trump.
just can't wish.
Sorry.
You can't just wish death upon him. So, anyways,
Yeah.
no, you didn't.
The fuck I can't.
But at least not on Twitter. Facebook. But everyone talking about how that Antifa is more of a like a hate group, but it's not. It's just an idea. So we got into the song about it just being an idea of not being an asshole fascist. So we went off that base and kind of wrote into it, and I wrote a big chunk of the lyrics. Matt put in some lyrics, and then Jason wrote the end of it.
Yeah.
So my grandfather drove a truck on the beach in Normandy and was scooping body parts out of his radiator, and it sucks to see our president have such a staunch stance against a quote unquote organization that's opposed to fascism. My fucking grandfather broke down in tears on the beach in Normandy because of all the people that died fighting against fascism, and this fucking orange idiot. I can't, man.
Nah. You
Just fuck that guy. Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, sorry. We kind of got stray there.
And then for my part at the end, it was more because at the time was whenever all of the protests and riots with Black Lives Matter and related were happening. And that's where like the whole Trump's whole thing with trying to classify Antifa as a terrorist group came from. And I was just in my head, I was just like,
It's so silly.
I was like, you know what? Fuck that. No. Like you cannot silence us. They're in the streets. They're still in the streets. Somewhere in this country, every day there's a demonstration and a protest and a march. And like, no matter what they try to do, they're not gonna silence us. We're not gonna shut up. We're gonna keep fucking fighting.
We will always be opposed to fascism.
And that's where my thought process was for the one line that I had in the song.
Yeah, I
I
only
sang 4
wrote
times.
like 3 lines.
But yeah, that one was mostly Jesse. And for me, like writing lyrics, it just kind of depends on some of the times, like a line will pop in my head that I think is interesting and I'll form around it. Or sometimes I'll have a subject that I want to talk about and go from there.
Like Java, that one was about coffee.
Yeah.
It's true.
That was enjoyable.
It's about coffee and Joel Osteen and his
Joel
fucking
Osteen.
multi-million-dollar churches.
And his yacht and his Ferrari and yeah.
And his little baby penis.
Tiny little wing.
Tiny peen. Little bitty guy. It's like one of them little smokies. Oh, it's so cute. Look at it.
I'm just fucking with you, Jason.
What else you got for us?
Don't have anything else, but we're
Would you-
also 45
Would you like
minutes
to know our
in.
opinions on Donald Trump?
I mean, this might be a future song.
Oh, no. We have a lot of songs that we plan.
We have I don't know how many it's going to be, but
9.
we have 9 so far. Well,
9.
9 riffs and a bunch of lyrics, but we plan in January to start recording for our LP,
Fuck.
and then also
Jesus.
And then-
I keep forgetting it's October.
yeah, it's
That
October.
seems like a million years away,
It's
but
not.
it's like it's right there.
No.
Yeah.
And then we don't have anything for it yet, but we have a
Sorry.
surprise EP. Well, it's not so much a surprise now, but it will be whenever it comes out. So we'll do that too. So we'll have a bunch of material next year in 2021
And
If,
hopefully
if we survive to
if we
that.
survive.
If
and
he
hopefully
doesn't push
to
the
play
button.
shows and play out of town, because that was the best part.
I have a van now, so we can do that.
This is
Fuck,
true.
I miss
Van.
I miss playing music for people. It sucks.
Yeah.
I miss seeing people watching me play music with their arms crossed over their chest.
Yes. Or leaving to go smoke.
Right.
Looking
That's the most
disappointed.
Right. 30 seconds in, they're like, you're not hardcore. Like, you're right.
People can find you on Bandcamp and Twitter.
We're
Can I
on
find you anywhere else?
Bandcamp, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're on
Spotify?
Spotify, YouTube,
YouTube.
all
Apple
the
Music.
all the major streaming platforms. Probably minor ones too.
That shitty Macintosh, what is it? iTunes? Or?
Yes,
It's Apple,
Apple
Music,
Music.
now.
iTunes is gone.
Apple Music.
Like, as we were trying to get everything set up,
It's all because the reason this took so long is because
fucking
Jesse's
hate
shitty Macintosh.
I hate Mac.
We figured it
I have a
out. We figured it
PC.
out.
Oh my god.
I'm Matt. I have a Dell. Dude, I got it already.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay, perfect. It was fun talking to you.
Would you like an intro or something?
What did you say?
He said, "Would you like an outro?"
Just like, hey, we're no point.
Outro.
Thanks for having us.
We can all say it together nicely.
In harmony.
Yeah.
Hey, we're no point. Thanks
for having us.
Oh, thank you.
Donald Trump.
That was great.
Black Lives Matter. Fuck you.
Fuck yeah. Have a beer.